Hello Flosstube. This is take number 3. So it's going to come out, however it's going to come out. I'm sick of going, oh no, I can't say that. Shut up. Start again. So you're getting it how you're getting it. Welcome to Flosstube episode number 3. Justsewsherrie, I am Sherry. That is Jem, one of my cats. He is actually one of mine. He's not the interloper, Charlie, who's asleep in the garden at the moment. Massive thank you to everybody who has subscribed and liked and commented. I used to hear people say, oh yeah, we read all the comments and yada yada yada. It's actually quite true. I do read all the comments and it really is lovely. And it feels like I'm having a conversation with you. And where possible, I do try and use your name so that you know that I am replying to you specifically. So if you use somebody else's name on your Flosstube, I might have called you on your Flosstube, on your comments, I might have called you by somebody else's name, who knows. But if I have, apologies. And there was a lot of people who actually would put comment and then would put underneath their name, you know, so thanks, Sue. Not thanks, Sue. Thanks, and then Sue. Sherry, shut up. Shut up. You know what I'm trying to say, don't you? So, we've got water today. We've got a cat. We've got a lot of stitching. I am a week late, apologies for that. I went up to, I've got a caravan up in Rothbury in the Northumberland Hills. So I've been up there. I've had 2 weeks off on leave from work for good behaviour, apparently. The theory was I was going to come back home last Saturday and I didn't know whether to do a Flosstube up there, but there's no way I would have gotten it uploaded. I can't. The signal up there is atrocious, even just to watch Flosstube. So there was no way I was going to get something filmed and then uploaded from there. That wouldn't happen. So I thought I'll come back last Saturday and do a one and then go back. And then I just thought, that's daft. I'm sure none of you's mind hanging on another week. Even though I was back and forward for other... I knew why I was coming back on Saturday. So it was my best friend's 50th. Julie turned 50 on the 13th September. So I came back on the Wednesday to see her and we went out for food on the Saturday night. So I was thinking I would come back in the afternoon, do my Flosstube, get ready, go out for Julie's birthday meal. But my day just got away from me. And I didn't want to shortchange her by putting so much effort into a Flosstube and then be knackered by the time I was going to go out for a meal. I don't get out very often, so like I literally don't get out very often, so it takes it out of us when it does, when I do get out. So yeah, that was nice. We also had a family day before I went up to the caravan on the Saturday or Sunday, maybe, can't remember. My daughter is working on Coldplay's tour and she was heading off to Canada, of which I talked about in my first Flosstube because I'd love to go to Canada. Can you see I'm having a flush? Bloody menopause, I swear to God. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Yeah, she's heading off to Canada and I think they did a show in Seattle, so I assume that's kind of just over the border maybe from Canada. So she went a week early and hired she had like a Jeep with like a tent on the top, like an airbed in, I think, something. It looked canny though. It had a little fridge in the back. She gave us a tour round. The joys of digital shenanigans these days. Just, yeah. So she showed us all around, but she wanted to explore Canada a little bit before she went to work. So she did that. And then they are heading off to Southeast Asia in November. So they tend to do like a few weeks on, a couple of weeks off, and sometimes it's like a couple of months off depending. So because she's going to Tokyo and Kuala Lumpur and New Zealand and Australia, I think. So all of her downtime, she's going to stay over there and she's going to have a look around the countries, which is just, I mean, living the dream, man. Living the dream. So we're not going to see her. That was a long way to say we're not going to see her for best part of a year. So my mum had a bit of a soiree. We had a tea. And if you've ever been to a Geordie Nana's tea, it's ham, peas, pudding sandwiches and quiche and sausage rolls. But they did do posh. My little niece Jennifer got involved and she did like meringues with strawberries and cream and stuff on, which was really lovely. And my cousins came through and that, and it was really lovely. It was really nice to catch up with everybody and to say ta-da to Courtney while she's off gallivanting the world, quite literally. So that's pretty much all I've been up to, other than stitching, which is great. I love a life where if you're not working, you're stitching. I've carved out quite a charmed life for myself, I have. Before I go any further, I just want to also thank the YouTubers that shouted me out, Lauren, Flossabilities, and her Mama Floss, who are both lovely, and I chatted to both of them at the, was it the Royal Retreat? Can't remember. I've been there. No, because the Royal was in May, wasn't it, for the coronation? I laugh every time I think of that, when Charles got coronated. But so what was the one? Oh, I think it was summer holidays. I think it was a summer holidays retreat that Sammy and Sammy Little Loops and Andrea Stitchy Science Technician organised. And her mum, if you haven't seen Lauren's Flosstube from, I think it was the 30th of August, and I only remember because it was, I remember thinking, no, it's the same date. I recorded mine, didn't get it uploaded, but I did record it then. Her mum is doing a long dog, and she's doing it with a variegated sulky, and she was showing me it while I was at the retreat, and it's stunning, absolutely gorgeous, and these variegated sulkies are lovely. And she showed me barn yarns, I think it's called. I'll link it in the description box. Sure, it was barn yarns where she gets her threads from, and it's really, really lovely. She's got some really lovely finishes. So yeah, Ellie Welly Stitcher, which is such a cool name, isn't it? Her name's Elaine, I think, but Ellie Welly Stitcher, and I'm now really jealous. I wish I had chosen like a proper cool name like that. So thank you. And Christy, the Floss Boss and Cousins, like, I mean, I was watching this thing. Well, I was watching their Flosstube, just as you do, because that's what we do. And she was saying, check out Justsewsherrie. I was like, is that me? She's talking about me. Like me? Like little me? So, over the moon, I am now officially a Floss Boss and Cousin. But they are fab. If you haven't seen them, Floss Boss and Cousins are great. Sarah Stitchy Spot. Sarah very, very kindly shouted me out. And she was so kind because, unfortunately, they lost their dog. Her and her husband Stan lost Chester recently. And yet, even, you know, in the midst of grief, you know, she was kind enough to think of other people. And I just thought that was so lovely. And her stitching's amazing as well. So if you haven't checked out Sarah's Stitchy Spot, for definite, go and have a look. And there was Sarah. Now she is a brand new floss tuber, and she's so timid and so shy, and she's at Stitching Jet. And she's just a lovely, lovely girl, really lovely, and she's brand new to the Flosstube world. And oh, My thing just went dark. I wonder if... I don't know if you're still there. I hope you're still there. I'm going to carry on and hope. So yeah, Sarah, who's at Stitch and Jet on both Instagram and YouTube, is a lovely, lovely lady. Stitching. Shall I talk about stitching? We're only 10 minutes in. That's not bad, isn't it not? I have got a fully finished, a proper FFO, fully finished object, and it is, oh gosh, I'm moving back like it's going to be this mammoth flipping sampler, and it's really not. So it was Queen of the Bees, which I got from Etsy. Can't remember offhand who I bought it from. I don't know if it was Stitches Through the Years, it might have been, but I did this one, and I did another one with the Queen of the Bee, the Queen on, Queen of the Bees, and this was just a, what do you call it, like a box. I made hard work of that, didn't I? I was thinking about the name of like the wood. It's just like, what do you call it? Like plywood. That's what I was thinking. Just like a plywood box that I got from Hobby. I was going to say Hobby Lobby. I don't even live in America. I've got nothing to do with Hobby Lobby. I've never been to Hobby Lobby, and I'll probably never get to Hobby Lobby. However, here in the UK, we have got Hobbycraft, and that's where I'd gone to. So I got it from there. Full disclosure, I haven't finished off the inside. So it is just a box. And I have literally just, oh gosh, there, popped it in. So all I need to do is glue that down, and I was just going to put some cardstock on top of it, just to finish it off. But I just caught my eye now. I was having a bit of a clear out of these drawers here. Well, drawers, the cupboard, the one at the bottom, I was having a clear out. And I came across it and I thought, do you know, I'm sure I've got a bit of stitching that would fit in there perfect. And I'm chuffed to bits with it. I really am. I think it's the first thing I've made that isn't either framed or pillows. So yeah, that's me fully finished. Chuffed to bits with that. Proper chuffed. And then I've got some finishes. I have got some finishes. We'll start with the smaller ones. So I finished this, which was a top-notch cup of tea. And it was the Treenway Silks Cross Stitch the Rainbow, I think it was called. And they came out, this is done on, and the fabric is wisteria, and it's one of the, hang on, I knew I was going to remember to get me board this time. That's better. So yeah, it's from the fabric of the month, the Lakeside Needlecraft, I think it's called. And I want to say Aprilish time, April, May maybe. So that's wisteria, and that is Top Notch Cup of Tea. So I finished that, which I didn't have, to be fair, I didn't have much to go on it. I've put my board down, you see. I'm not doing very grand. Oh, that would have fit in that box as well. Maybe I need to get another box. Maybe I need to get 10. Maybe I need to get 10 boxes. And then I can just finish them all in. And this was, I got this from the Friend Stitch pop-up gathering. And this, ingeniously, is called Crow. I think it's because it's a crow. I'm going with that. So yeah, You've got your 3 little jack-o'-lanterns at the top, your little pumpkins, your posh pumpkins. Not scabby turnips like I used to have when I was a kid. And it's really lovely. So it was all Classic Colourworks. Classic Colourworks, is that the right thread? I think it's Classic Colourworks. And it was really sweet, actually. It was meant to be my work stitch, but I was really enjoying it. And this is done on a 28 count Cashel flax, I think is the name. And they sent in the, you see the bag I got there, the friend stitch, and that came with all the supplies in for the pop-up retreat. And there was enough to do another bit, which has ended up being one of my whips, so I'll show you that in a second. But yeah, I was quite pleased with him. It was meant to be my work stitch, and obviously I've been off work for a fortnight, but it was lovely to pick up. And this is one of my finishes, and I tried to pass it off as I finished the last time, and I pointed out that I hadn't done the stalk, and some really lovely ladies pointed out I hadn't done this bit either. So it is now finished. So that is Flora Legends by Heart in Hand, and that is done on 28 count ballet slippers. Love it. I really do love this. I think it was my favourite that came out at Nashville in March. Really loved it, and I did with all the cold folk colours, which I'm pretty sure were Classic Colourworks as well. Absolutely gorgeous. I was going to say gorgeous and glorious. I think we should have gorgeous. That's a cool word. So yeah, Flora Legends, so I'm pleased with that. It has, I don't even want to know. Don't even want to know if I've missed it. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. I've got another finish, which I tried to pass off last week as well. And not many people noticed this, but one lady did. And she said, is there a reason? The lady is, sorry, I'm looking for me doodah. Never mind. It's the lady who was an arachnophobe, because she pointed out I hadn't done the spider. This little spider was missing. So this is Enchanted Quaker by Luminous Fibre. Is it Luminous Fibre Arts? So that is a fully, no, it's not a fully finished object, but it is a finished object. I'm trying to get straight in there. That's it. What I really liked, this Halloween and this witch with this little cat, I thought that would be really nice as a pillow. Maybe it's on an orangey fabric. I thought that would be really sweet. And you could even hang the spider off if you wanted to, because I feel like I've got a close relationship with this spider now. I mean, this spider are mates because we had to be. And I remember why I didn't do it, and I don't know if anyone else is the same, but I was busy doing, like, I'd done this and I was heading down here and I knew I had that, but it wasn't worth bothering with. I wanted to do the big things. I wanted to stitch properly. Didn't want to do this piddling little shenanigan things. So this poor little spider got missed off, and it was a lady who said, is there a reason you've left the spider off? Because I haven't included it on mine, and because I'm frightened of them. So no, the reason was I'd left it off just because that's me. Justsewsherrie. So it's definitely finished this time, Enchanted Quaker, and it's a really lovely stitch. And I did this on a 20 count Ada with fabric by Megan Coffee Craft Fabrics, and I know now that they are all one-off pieces. Oh, I was looking for the other clip, it was underneath. They're all one-off pieces that Megan does. So, I mean, next one is probably the biggest one I've done so far. And this, I didn't try and pass this off last time. And if anybody notices anything that's missing, I don't care. Hive Rules. So it's Hive Rules by Primrose Cottage. I can't get it really close. So, be sweet like honey. Mind your own beeswax. Always be humble and kind. Oh. Believe in yourself and others. And be loved. Love and be loved. Sorry. It's hard to read backwards. So I am really, really chuffed with this. Really chuffed with it. And I think what I'm going to do with it is put it onto some mount board. And I'd like to put it on a bit of wood. I'm feeling like a bit of palette or a bit of like not posh wood, like a bit of rough wood. I know what I'm trying to say. Does anybody else? If you do, you're doing great. Yeah, so not a pristine piece of wood, like rustic. That's the word, rustic. So yes, I would quite like to put it on something that's rustic. I've just realised my pump for my airbird is there. I cleared out my car. Excuse me. And that's obviously landed there and never moved. Okie dokie. So there are all my finishes. So it's that time, lads and lasses. Time to get me whipsuit. Get me whipsuit and I put them into piles here. I'm just figuring out which one's me new start pile and which one's me whip pile. This one's my new start. So we'll go through new starts. I said last time that I wanted to start Mill Hill, Buttons and Beads, Haunted Cottage, and I did start it on the perforated paper, and this is as far as I got. So I didn't get very far, and I think it's because the pattern is really busy. There's a lot in the pattern, pretty much because obviously it's full coverage and I'm not used to that. So I think I just need to cool my jets. I thought I was gonna like whip this out in a couple of days, and it's not going to be like that. It's a lot more stitching than what I realised is involved. And I talked last time about Callie from the Flosstubers and Cousins. She was talking about, she had one of the Mill Hill ones in our whip pile, and it was stuck in our whips. And she said it's tough because the threads all come and they're not sorted, and they do, which would be all right if you had, say, a medium green, a dark green and a light green, but you don't. You have a medium green, dark green, a light green, an extra light green, an extra dark green. The same with the purples. And I was struggling to see the difference between the colours. So I'm having a little huff with it. Me and my and yet the paper, absolutely loved stitching on the paper. Really enjoyed that very much. So I'll have to make friends with it at some point. But I really need to sort the threads out before I can do anything with it. It's not a pick up and just go project. This is a new start. And I don't know between putting it in my new start pile or my WIP pile. Because I've done quite a lot of it. This is hold that thought. That's my patterns in there. Heart in Hand, Harvest Tiny Town. I love this. I think it's the colours. We all fall in love with fall, don't we? Autumn. Absolutely love the colours. And I did get quite a lot done. So yeah. So I did get quite a bit. So I've only got the house, the cart, a tree and another tall house to do, and that'll be done. And this, I'm doing this on 20 count. I'm sure it's Africata. It's got like a greeny tinge to it. I'm trying to there's a window behind the laptop that I'm filming on, and I thought it would be great for light, but it's, I don't know, sometimes it feels like it's too light. I did look at maybe buying a ring light, so I didn't know if that would work better. So if anyone's got any experience. And speaking of that, please feel free to constructively criticise me. Ultimately, it's my floss tube. It's the tube of the floss. I'm the floss of my tube. What? Honestly, I just make it up as I go along, literally. Yes, I know it's my tube. I am the floss of my tube. But equally, there's no point in doing it if nobody wants to see, or if there's better ways I can do things or anything like that. More than happy. I'm learning a lot about digital stuff. I think there's probably a digital name for it. I'm becoming more tech savvy. That sounds good, doesn't it? Tech savvy. And I had to give up the last time. I was just having an absolute nightmare trying to upload and do all the digital stuff. So I ended up investing in a MacBook. I've always been an iPhone girl, so I've had an iPhone since iPhone 4. So I thought it was going to be an absolute doddle picking up a MacBook, and off we go. I had to get my nephews. The family gathering I went to for me daughter, I've got 2 nephews that are 15 and a niece that's 13, and I was sat on the settee surrounded by the kidlings, right, all the kids, showing me how the hell to work a bloody MacBook. I couldn't even shut screens down. I was like, and I thought I was pretty good. I mean, I work all the time on computers at work. It's how I do my job, all of it. And I'm usually, but oh God almighty. So if anybody else out there has gone through the pain of learning how to use a MacBook, thinking, oh yeah, I'm an Apple girl, I'll be fine, So painful. So painful. Can't even remember. So yes. So now I don't really want to buy a ring light because I've just bought a fancy ass computer. The joys of Flosstube. I thought they would bring me nothing but joy. I would be sparkling under rainbows. And it would be raining unicorn poop. It would just be lovely. It would be lovely. And it's just, it's actually very painful. Some of it is very painful. So anyway, that is my Harvest Tiny Town. So hopefully I'll be finished with that in the not too distant future. You see what I mean? The light. That's better. But bloody held that up for about 10 minutes. And I don't want to cut this. I've got this big piece. I don't really want to. There you go, there's my back. Everybody, have a look at my back. I don't care. I'm trying not to cut it until I've finished that because it's going to be so small. And I've kind of learnt that way with one of my other whips that I'll show you. I've sort of learned my lesson with that a little bit. Okay, another new start, and this is a little new start, was once I'd finished Crow from the Friend Stitch. We got 3 patterns from the Friend Stitch. This was by Amy Brecken Designs. Amy Brecken, I think it is how you pronounce it. So there's that one by Amy, and then there is this one which is a collaboration between Heart in Hand and Bent Creek. And I love that one, I really do. So this is called Happy Halloween. And you could quite easily do just some smalls. Big and small, Happy Halloween to all. So anyway, I did start the Amy Brecken one. And I've got a teeny start. So yeah, this is 28 count of flax. So this was the one that I did the crow on earlier, and it's just a really lovely. It's an easy stitch. It's 28 count. It's a linen, which means that it's the weave is quite loose. You can see there. You can see behind. I'll hold one of my boards up. Can you see? As you can see, the weave is quite loose, which makes it a very nice, easy stitch. And Celia and the ladies who ran the pop-up retreat said that they deliberately, you could ask for linen to be sent, and I did, and it was Stormy Night. I got, can't remember who it's by. But they said they did include this and enough to do the Crow and the Amy Brecken one if you wanted to. So I thought, yep, I'll do that, and I'll hang on to me Stormy Night for something a bit bigger. Although I'll probably use the Stormy Night for that one. But hopefully that means it'll be another reasonably quick Halloween stitch to be done. And my next one is a bit of haul and a bit of stitchy kindness and a new start, all in one, as you do. This is my new bag of Pauline, who is Sorbet Bags on Instagram, and I will link her below. And I love this. It's so well made, and it's got some lovely sort of neutrals. Well, the brown's like a neutral, but that's it's like an autumny palette. I really like this. you've got like a little mushroom charm, which is just sweet. And we're all about the fun guy, aren't we? I'm a fun gal. I like to think I am. Half the time I think I'm the only one having fun, but works for me. So there's that one. And I ordered this from Pauline through Instagram. And she very, very kindly has sent another one for you. Yes, you. You're there. I'm sending it out to you. You'll have to enter the giveaway, but you'll get it. You mark my words. So, and another lovely lady on... Oh no. What have I done with my pattern? Oh my colour blue. A lovely lady called Dottie. So yes, I got through my 11-year sober anniversary on the 10th of September without picking up a drink, which is just blows me away that I can just do one day, let alone all those days strung together. Really does blow my mind. And for it, I wanted to start. It's my Mirabilia, my first Mirabilia, and it is Fairy Moon, and I was totally enabled by Laura from Lala Day Stitches, who's had a fab new haircut. She's had a lovely do. You'd have to go over and admire her do. It's lovely. Excuse me. So it's Fairy Moon, and I haven't got the pattern here, but I have got a very tiny new start. So this was on a custom made fabric that Sophie, aka the Stitchy Ferret, did for me, but I'm quite tight to the edges. Yeah, I'm quite tight, so I'm kind of, what do you think, guys? Because I had this specifically made for me. I have got 3 inches. I think it just feels a bit tight. Well, actually, it won't be 3 inches by the time it comes down there. Maybe it's about 2 inches. What do you think? And I want to use this fabric because it was made specifically for this. I think I went off on a total tangent there. So Dottie reached out on Instagram after my first floss tube and said, I've got that kitted and ready to go. I'd love to stitch it with you. And I was like, you're on. You're on, sister. Your ass is mine. That sounds a bit dodgy. Just we'll be friends together. That was one of them. I'm not doing this all again. I'm not. And I don't know how to edit yet. So do you know what? You're going to get the raw material and do with it what you want. They are my new starts. And at some point, I would like to find my Mirabilia, because that will be a bit stressful. In fact, it's not the only new start. I've also got another new start here, but it's been in my whips because I have been actively working on it quite a lot. So this is, and I've got the pattern to show you. Missy Mitchell, 1929, and this is by Mama Loves You GB. She's on Instagram and on YouTube. I'm sure you all know her. Michelle, my hero. Go back and watch Flosstube 1 if you want to know. If you want to know the crack with Michelle. So I am doing this as part of a sample of September, and I am doing it with Rachel, who is the Talking Dog Stitcher, who's lovely. And I'm doing it on sure it's called tie-ho. It's a 16 count tie-ho that I got from 123 Stitch, and this is as far as I am. So I have left gaps. I'm going to have to frog this as well. I've left gaps for D and S and A. I'll need to take out because they're my initials, Sherrie and Dodd. So, and this is a fab needle minder that I got off one of the ladies from the summer retreat, called Edita. She's fab stitches, and she gave me one, and she gave my friend Leanne the opposite one to this. It's like hers, it's got like the pale heart and then the dark and then the pale, so she's got its matching twin sister, which is really lush. So yeah, so this is for Santa September, and I'm getting there. So I will do my initials in a different colour. What am I stitching with? What threads am I using? Well, I don't know if I would do this again, but I'm going to bring it really close so you can see. So to me, it looks almost denim. Especially like those bits there, I think look really sort of denim-y. That's a proper close-up and person of me stitching, like, isn't it? Didn't think that one through. Don't look too closely, please. I am doing it both blended and variegated. How am I doing that? So I'm doing it using DMC 53. And what I'm doing is I am taking quite a long loop, a long piece, and cutting it, funnily enough. And then I'm using a loop start, so it means that you've got an end that is really dark with an end that is really light, and then because it's variegated, it blends down into that particular one is quite light at the other end. So I'm not always using the loop start, because whichever one I end with, I'll then restart with the next one of these that matches where I've ended. So some of them you can see here, they've been the particularly light ones and they've been the particularly dark. So it's been it's been a variegated thread that I have then blended. And I literally made this up. I just thought, I liked the colour. I loved the colouring for it. But with these variegated threads, there's a lot of one colour before it moves to the next. So it would be literally, it would be chunks of one colour and then chunks of another colour and then chunks of another. So it wouldn't be like a variegated. And that wasn't the look I wanted. I wanted a more seamless variegation, if you like. So yeah, so that's what I've done. So I don't know, I'm sure I'm not the first to think of it. It would be highly unusual if I was the first to think of anything. If it's a good idea, it's definitely been thought of before. If it's not such a good idea, that could be me. That could be me. So there is that, and that is in my bee bag that I got from Not Enough Whip Bags at one of the retreats that I went to. So that is that. This one is, oh, I just love this. I'm really having to force myself to put it down. and stitch on something else. I'm finding that really difficult. So this is Owl Forest Embroidery, and it's patchwork calendar. As I said before, I saw it from Aunt Samantha, the Hugo Stitcher. She was doing it. Now what she's done is she's done a higher count than me, but she's done each one separately. And if you watch her Flosstube, not the one she's just done, because I just watched that yesterday, so that's brand new. The one she did earlier on with her friend Erica. Erica's really good sewing, so she does like loads of project bags and things like that. And what Samantha wanted to do was make each one of these into one of her with bags into a project bag. So Erica's been showing her how to do it when they were on holiday together. So if you want to go and have a watch of her, how she's done it. So she's done each one of these. I think she's got a couple left to do, but she's done them on a much higher count, and she's doing them to put on project bags. And this is my progress so far. I'm doing it on 40 count ballet slippers, so it's a lot smaller than what Samantha's will be. And I'm on to and the variegation is just sublime. It's just gorgeous. This one, I was stitching this yesterday, and see, this is where my head goes. Don't follow where my head goes, because it's probably not safe. In fact, I can pretty much guarantee it's not safe. But every time I look at this one, I just think of comma, 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 chameleon, red, gold and green, red, gold and green. That's all that goes through my head. Boy George singing comma, chameleon, red, gold and green. I'm kind of looking forward to moving on to the next colour, because I'm sick of it. You know when you get a song stuck in your head. So when you're stitching and the bloody song's going round as well. So I'm stitching to the beat of an 80s tune. Which is bonkers. And I will show you, if anybody hasn't seen any of my previous floss tubes, I'll show you the other colours. They are just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So that is some of them. That one for an autumn, done as what do you call it, monochrome. If you did a monochrome stitch in that for autumn, that is just gorgeous. And there is that one, very aquary, and that one's really pretty. Foresty colours. And then again, they're sort of the russets. Yum. Yum, yum, yum. I know I say it every time, but every time I look at the colours. And I don't know if it's partially the threads that's making me want to stitch this, because I'm properly hooked on it. Like, I need to look at other ones and think, come on, Sherry, do something on something else. It's like picking your favourite child. It's that one. I only had one child, so she's both my favourite and my least favourite at the same time. Lucky her. Okay, next rip, which is Autumn Quaker. And this is by Stitches Through the Years, which was on Etsy. So that's the pattern. And this is the little one's gone again. I am nearly finished. So I've only got him here. Have I got anything else? So he's quite a big one. Where's my pins? Where's my clips? Come on, Sherry, get professional. So this one is quite a big, so that'll go right down to the very end. And I think I've got, yes, there's a little birdie to go in there. The other thing, and I was talking to somebody else about this, which reminds me, jingle ball. Don't let me forget to say about the jingle ball. So on here, it's got an S in the middle. And I thought nothing of it until I was stitching it. And I was stitching this. Actually, I have changed the threads on this as well. So it wasn't until I was stitching this and I thought, why is it got an S in the middle? Like spring or autumn, summer? Why has it got an S? And I think because it includes an alphabet for you to personalise it. So I think it was just a random, happens to be S. But I was looking at it thinking S for spring or S for summer. Now, unfortunately, my initial is S for Sherry. So I don't really want to put it in because I think it'll look like what I thought it would look like, which was spring or summer. Because I've also got the spring, summer and winter Quakers as well in the series. Now, the other thing is, so I don't know what to do about the S. I don't know whether to put it in. I don't know whether to put something else in there. I don't know, some little thing. I can't put my full initials in because I thought I could do that, put SD or SAD. And there's not enough room. Ideally, you can only put one in. It would look odd if I tried to cram too many in. So I don't know whether to just leave it, put something. I don't know. No. I just don't know. I don't know what I do. This make decisions hard as an adult. It's difficult. So when I was talking about the Harvest Tiny Town before, and I said I don't want to cut the piece because if you look at this, it just, and this is only a small piece of Ada. It is 15 inches by 8, so it really dwarfs. So I don't want to waste a whole load of fabric, which I feel like I've done on here. And my friend Leanne suggested I put them all on the same one. So do autumn, winter, spring, summer, autumn, all on the same one. Which I couldn't do now because I've already cut it, but I could re-stitch it again. So I don't know what to do with this. But I have changed a couple of the colours and I'll tell you for why. So these were the called for. Okay. So it was a real mauve palette. But then you've got him, like a chestnut brown, and it just didn't work for me. It just looked odd. These were all of the same colour family, if you like. And then you had this random chestnut, which is a perfect colour for an acorn. But not with these, it just looked odd. So I changed them. I went shopping to an actual shop so I could see the threads and married them up. And I chose those two instead. So it's AMC because it was meant to be where this purpley one, 3740, that purple, was meant to be the top of the acorn here. And then the chestnut. So I changed it and I just picked a darker brown for the top of the acorn, and then this so more of a goldy brown. So that's what this is done in the middle with. So I did substitute those. I changed one colour for two. Get me? Get me change it. Do you know who I think I am? Just call me Brenda Gervais. Sherry Brenda Gervais Dodd, because I'm proper like, I know what I'm doing. You can imagine me in charge of a design. I couldn't imagine. I wouldn't want to imagine. And neither should you. Like I say, where I go, don't follow, because it's probably not safe. Right, that is that way. It's a pint's worth of water, this. Right, we're coming up to an hour, so let's get this done. My last whip is, and I can't remember showing this in my whip parade, but I must have. When I was at the Royal Retreat, there was a wonderful lady there called Caroline Selden, who runs, I think it's Haystack Stitching, and she's one of the organisers of the Big Stitch next year, and she's a lovely lady. Her and another lady called Linda Haddon were at the retreat as vendors, and she had some primitive hair. Season of the Witch. So this is, she was saying this is about 10-year-old. So I don't know whether it's still in print. I don't know whether, yeah, 2013. It probably is. But I've got a love of primitive hair. I really, really love primitive hair. I've got another pattern here. And I'll show you just because it's here. All Hallows Needle Queen. Isn't that gorgeous? That is so lovely. And I had a thought. Yes, it hurt. Right, it hurt. Where's me shenanigans gone? This one. Harvest Tiny Town. On 20 count, it really is a teeny tiny town. But I think this would be really good as a needle case. So like folded in 3. I think that would be really good. And also, so to have as a seasonal needle case. So that one obviously is an autumn one. There's the Bloomin' Tiny Town. That could be spring. Haven't figured out what could be summer, but we'll get there. So yeah, so that is my Season of the Witch, and I substituted a colour on here as well because I could. So this is where I am. Season of the Witch. So this green, it's not that green at all. The colour was here, you can see I've frogged it where I did a face. It just wasn't showing up on this fabric. This is a Megan Coffee Crafts one, and it was this 644. And it's just virtually the same colour. It just didn't show up. I thought, I mean, you could see it, but barely. So I went shopping to an actual shop, and I just picked a milder green. Yeah, paler green. So that's going to be a face and a hand. So substituted 644 43013. But I'm really enjoying that as well. I'm really enjoying my stitching at the moment. Like the patterns, none of them None of them are a slog. Hive Rules towards the end was a bit of a slog. It was this needs to be done. So I'm pleased that one was finished, but it'd been going on since February. So, and the last whip is Embroidery, Cat Lovers, which I saw on Lindsay's Flosstube, Cat Fur and Cross Stitch. But I'm going to, there's 5 cats on there, and I'm going to replace them with colours of cats that I've had. So I haven't done it yet, because I'll do them all together when I do them. And I know the last time I asked you about, I don't know whether it's still in there or not. No. It was one of the variegated oranges, and a few of you, quite a few, said I think it's a bit too bright, and I tend to agree. So I'm going to do something else for the ginger and white cat Sammy that I had. So, but yeah, and I've been loving this. But I think Patchwork Calendar has taken over as my heart stitch at the moment. So I've done quite a bit. So I have done this one, apart from this little flower here. I've finished this motif. I cannot find this. I substituted it for a colour and I don't know where it's gone. And I've tried to match it. I've been into a shop. I've bought every bloody colour of blue going and none of them match. So it's going to end up being frogged and redone with another colour that I like. But yeah, that's me, Cat Lovers. And me cute little teapot. Because of course, we're British. We like tea. We like high tea. Yeah, I'm using myself all day, you know. I really do. So, I've got a needle and a thread and I don't know where it's from. It could be anywhere. Could be anywhere. I'll show you these as well. I got these. I was saying I do like vinyl and things. I've got my cricket and what have you. And I bought these to make a pencil case for somebody. But I think it was like a pack of 10 from Amazon. And they're great for keeping your threads in. So just putting them into a project bag keeps all your threads separate. Especially when they're biggish bags. Like this one's quite a big bag. This is from Not Enough Whip Bags. And that, my lovelies. Oh, I feel like the witch off. There was in a vase. Didn't she use that phrase? My lovelies. My lovely. That my lovelies, is it? Haul. Straight on to haul. Hold that thought. Okay, on to haul. Gifts. Gifts for me, from me. I love being me. I get lots of lovely gifts off myself. It's fab. I got this. It is called A Knitter's Pride. Oh. And it is by Magma, I think. And what it is, some of you might have seen this before. It is simply a magnetic board, which obviously has cat hair on. So it's got a pocket in the back, which is quite good, which is zipped. And it does even come with a pen, which is quite small. And I didn't even know until a couple of days ago. So it's got a little pen in, and basically it's just to hold your pattern. And I was really struggling, especially I have problems with my back and stuff, and pain management. So I usually go to bed. I'll go and lie on my bed from anywhere from 6 p.m. ish. So when I'm lying in bed, to be able to see my pattern, that makes it a whole lot easier. It does come with a long strip of magnet, which I think is useless. It just didn't seem to work very well. So I use these, you know, these ties for wrapping your fabric up. I use them because they're fab. And it comes with these 3 little magnets, and they're quite good. Don't know why the big one's rubbish, but it is. It's rubbish. And these ties are Smart and Cool ties from Amazon as well. And they came highly recommended from Jane from Run with Scissors, Stitching with Jane and Julie. Because they're a good strong magnet, but not too strong that you feel like you're yanking them all apart. Now I'm in Megan Coffee Craft Fabrics Fabric of the Month, although she has put it on pause for a couple of months, and the piece she'd sent me went missing. I don't know where it went, but it never arrived. So she sent me out another piece. So normally I'm in the Neutrals Club. I'm a neutrally girl. So she said, oh, I haven't got any 20 count left. That's fine, just send me anything. I'll stitch on everything. As long as it's stitchable, I'll stitch on it. So she sent me this, purple, which I would never have chosen in a million years, but I love it. And this will be great for Halloween pieces. So really, really pleased with this. And this is an 18 count. Did I say that? I've said that, I don't know. So that came, and I had decided I was going to stitch this on it. Heart and Hand, Ye Old Crow Santa. I thought that would be quite good, but it'll need to be 310 because that is quite dark, so it'll need to stand out. And I also got her, she does mystery bundles, so I got her mystery bundle, which came in a little packet. So I have done nothing with it really. I've looked at it, but I wanted to save it and show you. So it all comes really sweetly wrapped, and in it I got some little bee charms, some John James needles, size 24, a little scissors charm, some thread drops. Do we call them thread drops in the UK? Do we still call them floss drops? I don't know. The bits of things to hold your threads or your floss, depending on which country you're in. A little needle minder, a little hot air balloon. A little tin, and I'm a sucker for a tin. So a little tin. I tend to put a needle minder in, and when I'm at retreats and things, I can just put it down. And either my scissors or my needles or whatever, just stick to the top of it. I got a thread bling, and it's very appropriately black and white. So that's who my team are, Newcastle United, black and white, and a spider on it. I got a sulky, variegated thread, and this is a Petites 12 weight. So I was really chuffed with that. Never had a sulky. some linen, a little, it's a small piece. I say small piece. It's 36 count, so it's probably bigger than it seems initially, because it's quite a tight weave. That'll be lovely for I think for a spring project or something maybe. And some scissors. So I can use this now. I opened it and went, oh, and that was it. I couldn't do anything else with it. This Flosstube malarkey. It's teaching me patience and tolerance. Well, it's not, but I'm in the, what do you call it? Patchwork rabbit. Fabric of, no, I'm not. I am, but I'm not. Patchwork rabbit subscription for the cottage garden samplings, and this was this month. I mean, how look at him, man. I'm not sure about this. This apparently it's a haystack. There are times I have no words. This is one of those times. But I've just never seen anything like, just quite like it. And I think it's going to be one of those things. This will be part of a giveaway at some point because I won't stitch it. But I suspect it'll be something that one of you would love to stitch. I think there's so many people out there who would love this. I just find it. Yes. Yes. And that is it. These two I have just gotten through the door yesterday from 123 Stitch, and it was part of a previous order that I made, but they didn't have it in, so I've got Witch Hazel, La-di-da. It's lush. Really like that. And look at these. Little House Needleworks. Pumpkin Petites. Pumpkin Farm Petites. This will be getting stitched as soon as possible. I'm in the Lakeside Fabric of the Month Club, and this month we got It's Fabric Flare. This is Harvest Time. It's coming out reasonably true colour. It's like a blush, yellowy, pinky, mauvey, strawy, anything else-y, kind of coloury. Yeah, I can't quite get it to, but it is. It's like it's a really warm autumn colour, I would say. I got these. I've been dying to start this. There is a sal that Laura from Textile and another lady called Cindy, and I can't remember her Instagram or thingy name, YouTube name. I think it's called Plum Street Pumpkin Sal, and it's basically any fall Plum Street pattern. My words are not, they're getting a bit not pretty. So I got the threads to do this, and I've had this since spring. I ordered this one and the spring one, and I've done the spring, actually you can see it there, that's the spring one there, which I made into a little pillow. And I've been itching to start with the sal I'm really going to enjoy stitching this. I love doing the spring one. So I got all the called for threads. That's a Colourworks. So I'm looking forward to joining that. Now that I've showed you all, I can start. I got the Patchwork Rabbit her Fibre on a Whim club, and that is this month, and that's shown pretty true as well. It is called Brown Sugar, so it is sort of browny, but then it like goes into a blushy pink kind of. It's really unusual. I'll open it so you can see it. I mean, that's some serious mottling. So that is Fibre on a Whim Brown Sugar. And I know they usually have a surplus of whatever the fabric of the month is, so the seller is obviously just fabric. So if you're interested in that, head over to Patchwork Rabbit. There might be some left still. There it is. I literally got these this morning actually. I wanted to show you these as well. I got these from Needle Minders from Denkai Designs on Instagram. I think is she on Etsy? I got a link from Instagram because I think Sammy Little Loops had gotten a needle minder or something, and she'd tagged her, so I went on to her, and these are just adorable. Really, really lovely. And she did send me a free one as well, although I don't know what I've done with it. I'm so sorry, I don't know. It'll be on a project somewhere. No idea. I'll find it at some point. But these are super cute. Really, really like them. And then I literally got this morning, and then we're nearly done. Home for the Holidays by Blackbird Designs, and I wanted it to do I haven't even looked at it yet. That one, Christmas Garden. Carol Saltbox has got it on her wall, and it's on Brenda and the Serial Starter. It's on her wall as well, and it just looks gorgeous. So this will be getting started as soon as possible. I think this will mark the start of my Christmas stitching, because I've still got some fall stuff to do. But I just love this. Absolutely love it. And I will get the called for as much as I can, because I think it is an heirloom piece. I mean, to be fair, I don't know if anybody in my family would care, but can you hear the ice cream man? It's bonkers. It's actually that way. I'm in the back of the house and it's at the front. Bonkers, bonkers, bonkers. And I got, in fact, I know where they are. I remembered where I put them. This came. The Mad Tea Party. Bella Filipina. Just love it. Absolutely love it. So I had to order the threads and they arrived this morning. I'm trying to show you now it's spoiling. So she wrapped them really nicely. I got those from Peakside Needleworks with another piece. Of Tornado. So Fox and Rabbit, it's 36 count Tornado. I got a fat quarter because I love it. So, love it, love it, love it, love it. So that are all my gifts. Quite a lot. But remember, I'm a week late. So I've got more gifts than I would have had if I'd done it a week ago, which I was going to. Okay. Giveaway. Giveaway. So the giveaway, let me have a look at. So I had my 1,000 subscriber giveaway last month, 3 weeks ago. So I used the random word generator thing. I have taped me doing them, but I'm probably not going to upload it to this because I'm still not great at editing. But I thought I wanted the evidence just in case, I don't know, somebody says, how do you know she was? How do we know she was, or whatever? So I just thought I'm gonna record it. So I have recorded it. So the first one, now remember this will go out on your YouTube names, and as lots of other Flosstubers already said, you know, don't use the word giveaway, free, all that jazz. So what I was going to say was I'll never comment on your comment and tell you that you've won, or ask you to click on a link. It'll only ever be in the YouTube video itself. So number one was the Top Notch Cup of Tea, which was the word cup, and for that it was a lady called, I think lady called Janelle Daly. Anybody want an ice cream? It's loud, isn't it? So it's spelled Janell. Janelle Daly. Chatter was a lady called Val, and that was all that came up as a YouTube name. So Val for Chatter Broth. The Bee, which was Sammy Little Loops. I had it upside down there. Sammy's pattern. And the winner of that was Audrey Fleming. So that's Audrey Fleming. The Clown, the Cottage Garden. Cottage Garden Samplings was Mrs. Stitches. That's M-I-S-S-U-S, Mrs. Stitches. So yeah, you got the Clown, the Coachman, and the keyword was coach, and for that it was a lady called Carla Rigel, I'm sorry. So that's Carla, C-A-R-L-A, Rigel, R-I-G-E-L, for the Coachman. And for the Heart and Hand Seaside Tiny Town was Stitches with Charlie Feathers. So that was Stitches with Charlie Feathers. So if you can all get in touch with me, let me know who you are on YouTube, what your YouTube name is, and and give me your name and address, and I'll get those sent out to you wherever you are in the world. I wanted to say as well, when I do giveaways, if it's just patterns, I'm happy to send anywhere. But if it's something bigger, it'll be just UK only, purely because of the cost of postage. It can get really expensive posting abroad. So, so this week's giveaway will just be for the UK. So sorry, ladies who are overseas, are gents, and it will be the lovely Pauline of Sorbet Bags sent me the bag that I ordered, and she also sent another one for a giveaway. And isn't that just, I mean, that's just autumn, isn't it? All the leaves. It's lovely. I have to confess, when I opened it, I did think, oh, is it not for me? It's so nice. And it's got a really lovely sort of russety burnt orange colour inside. I was gutted. She said she did give me a lovely card as well. I don't know what I've done with it. I did bring it up. It will be under one of the piles of stuff somewhere, but she sent a really lovely card with Peter Rabbit on, and said I'm including this for a giveaway, which was just super kind, really generous of her. And our bags, like I say, this was the one that I bought off her, and they're a really good price point, and you'll find her on Instagram. So she's Sorbet Bags, SEWBEBAGS, Sorbet Bags, but I will link her below. But yeah, so for that, what we will say is, so remember ladies, it's and gents, it is over 18 to give me your address. You have to live in the UK because it's bulky to post. Are there any other rules? Oh, you've got to be a subscriber and like and do all the things. And fingers crossed, I mean, I'm literally a hair off 2,000 subscribers, literally about 26 off. So fingers crossed that we'll get that, and then next Flosstube, if we get the 2,000, I'll do a 2,000 giveaway as well. So I've already got a couple of things that I've put aside for it. So yeah, so if anybody wants the autumn bag, I think, well, what will we say? Should we say leaf? L-E-A-F. So L for Lima, E for Echo, A for Alpha, and F for Foxtrot. Takes a while, you know, but I do get there. Way is a whole nother story though. Have I got anything else that I need to do? This is the problem when you do it on your own. You kind of like, have I done anything? Have I missed anything? What's going on? What happened? I don't even know how I ended up here. I only asked for directions. Here I am with you. And there's nowhere I'd rather be, unless it's at a retreat. Speaking of stitchy friends and retreats, the Jingle Ball, you see, thanks for reminding us. The Jingle Ball is going on sale. Now, the Jingle Ball is an online thing that Steph from Lindy Stitches organised it, with obviously some other people as well. I'm just trying to find the... So I went to the Jingle Ball last year, and I was fortunate enough to meet a group of ladies, and we have continued to stitch together. So there's literally 4 of us, and we have the globe covered. So there's one lady from New York called Patty, who was weirdly friends with Missy and Kathy from Two Needles Pulling Thread. She's one of their pals. There is a lady called Rita from Holland, or the Netherlands. I don't know what's the correct term. Is there a correct term, or is it like Great Britain and the UK? Are they one and the same? Shut up, Sherry. And a lady called Shona, who is from Australia, and me, and I'm in England. So we've literally got the globe covered. We've got America, Australia and Europe in 4 people. So we went into the international room, and we spent quite a lot of time in there. Patty ended up in the international room because she got up super early, and she thought it was the only one that would have, I was going to say have live people in it, as opposed to dead people, obviously. Yeah, it was the only one she thought would have people in it. And we were alive, fortunately. So we spent quite a lot of time, and it was just lovely, really lovely. And once a month we meet up. Every first Sunday of the month we have a stitch catch up, and it's just lush. It really is lovely. So the Jingle Ball was such good fun last year. It really was great. The tickets are going on sale on October the 13th. Excuse me. It's going to be held on December the 1st to the 3rd, and there will be classes. If you go onto Lindy Stitches, I'm on her newsletter, so if you can get on Lindy Stitches newsletter, it's got everything in there, but they have got the Jingle Ball. So you can subscribe. So I'll show you here. I'm on her newsletter, and if you go on her newsletter, she's literally got subscribe to get Jingle Ball updates, and it tells you about all the classes. There's finishing classes, and they're extending them this year. They've learned, last year was the first one, so obviously it was a case of suck it and see. So they've learned new things, new ways to do it. They've got more availability in the different classes, and I think they're going to have more sort of stitching rooms, if you like. So maybe to stop, because I don't know if a couple of them got really overwhelmed with people, so it was only like a handful of people talking. So yeah, so it's going to change, but oh, I loved it, and I've made some absolutely brilliant friends. Patty in New York, God love her, sends me things. Not free things. I do pay for them, but she sent me the Christmas in July with Crazy Annie's, and it had loads of designer stuff in. It had loads of stuff in, actually, to be fair. I got it, if you can see there, that's a Teresa Kogut print. That was in it, as well as at least half a dozen patterns. I got floss. Yeah, I got floss, girls. I'm American now. I got threads, and I got more threads, and I got bling, and Just Another Button Company was part of it. Got all these little buttons. I won't go through everything, but you couldn't get it here in the UK. So Patty very, very generously allowed it to be shipped to her house, and she sent it over to me. So I owe her big time. And she's a lovely lady, really lovely lady. And she said, Flosstube ladies, stop apologising. Or gents as well, stop apologising for who you are. Everyone's like, oh, I'm sorry if I've wrinkled this bag. Oh, I'm sorry about this. I'm sorry about that. Stop apologising. Auntie Patty says. And I said to Patty, I'm going to tell them that you told me. She's got a magic finger. She's got a teacher's finger. She can wag it. So I've tried this time not to apologise. So can I just do a big I'm sorry if I upset anybody at the end? Sorry, Patty. Shh, don't tell her. Right, I think that is probably us. I am exhausted, so I think that's us done. Hopefully it'll be 2 weeks' time, which will give us the 7th of October. So if we say, for the giveaway, we said leaf, didn't we? L-E-A-F for foxtrot. So if we say until the 6th for the giveaway, and for the ladies who and gents who won the patterns, please get in touch with me at justsewsherrie@gmail.com. No, it's not at justsewsherrie, it's justsewsherrie@gmail.com. Right, have a lovely week, and my inspirational quote for today: fear kills more dreams than failure ever will. So go out and be brilliant on purpose. Bye now.